Swadika, and thank you for joining us for the morning edition of NBT World Brief. I'm Tra Tirakausan. Amid the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, the Prime Minister says Thailand has sufficient oil supplies and urges the public not to worry. Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul has urged the public not to panic over fuel supplies, saying oil importers have confirmed there are currently no signs of shortages, even as fighting continues in parts of the Middle East. However, he encouraged the public to use energy more carefully, noting that conserving fuel could help extend Thailand's strategic reserves. At present, Thailand has oil reserves that can last about 60 days. With greater energy conservation, authorities hope the reserves could be extended to around 90 days or possibly up to 100 days. The Prime Minister also stressed that Thailand currently holds the largest oil reserves in ASEAN. He thanked the public for their cooperation and said there is no need to stockpile fuel, adding that the government will continue to manage supplies closely.
ก็ได้รับการยืนยันจากทั้งผู้ค้าน้ำมันแล้วก็โรงกลั่นน้ำมันซึ่งไม่ใช่ปตท.อย่างเดียวต้องมีไทยออยล์มีบางจากนะมีเชลมี SPRC ซึ่งก็คือค้าเด็กเก่านะครับทุกรายที่ทำการนำเข้าน้ำมันดิบก็ยืนยันกับผมว่ายังไม่ได้มีปัญหาในการหรือว่ามีสัญญาณใดๆที่ว่าเราจะขาดแคลนแต่ตอนนี้มันเป็นวิกฤตการณ์ที่มีการสู้รบกันมันถามว่ามันปกติไหมมันไม่ปกติหรอกนั้นพวกเราผู้เป็นประชาชนทั่วไปเป็นผู้บริโภคผู้ใช้น้ำมันในประเทศแล้วก็เราตระหนักรู้เอาไว้แล้วเราก็เริ่มใช้มาตรการประหยัดน้ำมันประหยัดเชื้อเพลิงประหยัดพลังงานกันซึ่งต่อให้ว่ามันจะไม่มีอะไรขาดแคลนมันก็เป็นการสร้างความตระหนักรู้มันก็เป็นสิ่งที่เป็นประโยชน์ทั้งนั้นยิ่งเราประหยัดได้มากเท่าไหร่สำรองการใช้น้ำมันสำรองน้ำมันในประเทศมันก็จะเพิ่มมากขึ้น
Meanwhile, the Department of Energy Business has instructed officials nationwide to closely monitor fuel supplies and prices at petrol stations. Authorities are also working with provincial energy offices and commerce officials to inspect service stations across the country. If any operators are found hoarding fuel or taking advantage of the situation by raising prices unfairly, legal action will be taken immediately. Officials are also coordinating with fuel distributors to ensure timely deliveries nationwide to keep supplies stable and minimize any impact on the public. A new public opinion survey shows many Thais are increasingly worried about rising energy prices and are calling on the government to maintain price controls as long as possible. A survey by Suwandusit Poll has found that many people in Thailand are concerned about the impact of higher energy prices on their cost of living. The poll, conducted between March 11th and 13th among 1,347 respondents, shows that nearly 46% say they are very worried about rising energy prices, while about 44% say they are somewhat concerned. More than 71% of respondents say they want the government to introduce support measures, especially by keeping fuel and cooking gas prices capped for as long as possible. To cope with potential increases, about 70% say they plan to adjust their behavior by saving energy, such as turning off lights and electrical appliances when not in use. However, the survey also highlights financial vulnerability among many households. About 30% say they would have enough emergency savings to cover expenses for only 1 to 3 months if energy prices rise significantly and begin to affect daily living costs. According to the head of Suwandusit Poll, the findings reflect growing financial pressure on households, with many people having limited emergency savings. The poll results suggest that the government's challenge is not only to control energy prices, but also to prevent rising costs of goods and services in order to protect consumer purchasing power and maintain overall economic stability. The newly convened House of Representatives has elected its Speaker and 2 Deputy Speakers during the first parliamentary session of the new term. Members of the 27th House of Representatives of Thailand met yesterday in a special session to elect a new Speaker and Deputy Speakers. Before the proceedings began, members of Parliament took the oath of office in accordance with the Constitution. Sopon Saram, a member of Parliament from Buriram representing the Phumjai Thai Party, was nominated by a member of Parliament from the Pheu Thai Party, while Parit Wachara Singthuk was nominated by a member of the People's Party as an alternative candidate. Both candidates presented their visions for the role before the vote. Now, in the end, lawmakers voted to elect Sopon Saram as Speaker of the House. The Assembly also elected Malika Chirapanwanit and Lersak Patana Chaikun as Deputy Speakers. In his remarks, the new Speaker expressed hope that the current Parliament will adopt modern knowledge and tools to improve legislative work and produce laws that effectively support the government and benefit the public.
โดยอำนาจหน้าที่ของประธานสภาและอำนาจหน้าที่ของสถาบันนิติบัญญัติก็คือสภาผู้แทนแห่งนี้ก็มีอยู่3ประการประการแรกก็คือนำเรื่องราวที่ได้รับประชาชนพี่น้องประชาชนทุกร้อนมาบอกกล่าวไม่ว่าจะเป็นการปรึกษาหารือการตั้งกระทู้หรือตั้งยติผมอยากเห็นสภานี้ได้ใช้กลไกนี้ได้นำเรื่องทุกร้อนมาบอกกล่าวเพื่อนำให้ฝ่ายบริหารไปปฏิบัติอย่างเป็นรูปธรรมประการที่2ก็คือการตรวจสอบระหว่างฝ่ายนิติบัญญัติกับฝ่ายบริหารผมอยากเห็นการตรวจสอบที่มีคุณภาพและมีความสมดุลเป็นเหตุเป็นผลในการทำงานทั้ง2ฝ่ายเพื่อประโยชน์ของพี่น้องประชาชนประการที่3ที่เป็นอำนาจหน้าที่ที่สำคัญก็คือการบัญญัติกฎหมายการออกกฎหมาย
As temperatures soar in the capital, Bangkok, authorities have opened hundreds of cooling centers across the city to help residents escape the heat and reduce health risks. A total of 255 Bangkok cooling centers have now opened across Bangkok, offering residents a place to cool down during periods of extreme heat. The centers are part of a citywide effort to reduce the risk of heat-related illnesses during the hot season. Now, our NBT News team visited one of the cooling centers inside the sports complex at the Thai-Japanese Bangkok Youth Center, where some residents have already begun using the area. Visitors say the project is a welcome initiative, providing not only shelter from the scorching sun, but also drinking water for the public. Some residents have also suggested expanding the spaces to include more community activities, such as reading corners or small play areas for children. They believe these additions could help turn the cooling centers into relaxing community spaces and encourage more people to use the facilities. Authorities say the cooling centers will operate from March through April 2026, opening daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. to help residents cope with the intense summer heat. A rare and spectacular sight in southern Thailand. More than 100 bottlenose dolphins have been spotted swimming together near TACHAI Island. Officials at Qa Similan National Park have released images of a remarkable encounter with a massive pod of dolphins during a routine marine patrol. At around 10 a.m. yesterday, park rangers spotted an estimated 120 Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins swimming near TACHAI. Large gatherings like this, known as a superpod, are extremely rare in Thai waters. Normally, bottlenose dolphins travel in smaller groups of around 10 to 20 individuals. Park officials say the appearance of such a large pod reflects the healthy and abundant marine ecosystem around the Similan Islands. Rangers at the scene described the dolphins measuring about 1 to 2.5 meters in length, spreading across the sea. Many appear playful and curious, some racing alongside the patrol boat, others leaping out of the water as if greeting the officers. The head of the park said the moment was both thrilling and deeply rewarding for the team. Authorities say the sighting also reflects the success of conservation-focused tourism policies, which limit visitor numbers, regulate boat routes, and closely monitor rare marine species, aimed at protecting fragile ecosystems while allowing responsible tourism. Park authorities are also urging tour operators and visitors who encounter marine animals to follow international guidelines, which are to slow down boats, maintain a safe distance, avoid chasing or cutting through pods, and refraining from feeding or touching the animals. And that wraps up our morning news report. Stay updated with the latest developments and more stories. Simply scan the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all media platforms. Until next time, สวัสดีค่ะ